Okay, so in this video I just want to talk about rebatement. Now, rebatement is very handy when you're dealing with a shape such as this one and you're given, let's say, an elevation like this one looking in like so, and a plan looking down on top, which would look like this. Now, the issue that we have here is that if we were to, let's say, develop out this surface, to find the length of, let's say, this line here, that would become an issue. Because if we were to look in elevation, like so, that is not the true length because we know that's distorted, as well as if we look down on our plan, which we're given that that's not the true length. So what we need to do is we need to basically perform a construction which is known as rebatement, is where you're actually rebatting that line to get the true length of it in one of those two views. So what I've done here is I've put together a bit of a SolidWorks model that explains that rebatement at play. So as you can see here, let's see if I can get the colors going. There we go. As we can see here, our original line is so in our elevation. So if we look in here in our elevation, it's here. So, and also we can see it here in our plan here, this line. Now, if we rotate it in our plan, so as you can see here, we get our compass, we spread it out from the apex all the way out to the corner, rotate it out till it hits a line that's actually parallel with the XY line, as you can see here. Then when we bring that up into our elevation, like so, it will hit a point here on a line that we take across, and then that can be joined back up to our apex. And then this line actually represents the true length of this line here, and all we're doing is using a construction to actually rebat it, so as if to rotate around the central axis so that we can see it as a true length in one of the two of our views that we have. Now, this might be a small bit confusing looking at it here like this, so what I'm going to do as well is I'm going to move this over to a drawing in SolidWorks. Let's try to make a drawing of this. Just going to find a template here first of all. Okay, so if we grab that drawing now that we were dealing with a few seconds ago, and we put in our elevation, and we put in our plan, like so. Now, for the sake of this drawing, let's say we're dealing with this line here that we're trying to find the true length of. As you can see, we've rebatted it out in our plan, and we've hit a line that's parallel with the XY line. Let's say the XY line is this line here, because let's pretend our elevation, this actual object is sitting on the horizontal plane. So what we can do then is we can take that up, and where that intersects our line here, which is taken across, so remember that this line here where that hits is representing this arc as it swings out here all flat on our horizontal plane. So where it hits there, then it joins back to our apex, and then what we actually have is the true length. So this line is now a true length for this side, and now because of the shape of this object itself, we know that's the true length for each one of these lines that we have yet not found. If we were to repeat this, let's say over here, for let's say this one, so this same construction just used somewhere else. A bit of an issue here, 2 seconds. Trim that again. There we go. As you can see, we've rebatted that line out. Now if we bring that up to hit our XY line again, like so, and we carry that up to the apex, now that line will actually be equal to the same length as the line we have over here as the true length again. Now this is important construction for you to know and to understand. Now, depending on how the question's asked or what line you're dealing with, it'll be the same construction. It might be a small bit trickier to wrap your head around what's happening, but it's the same rules apply. Now, it's the important thing for you to have a deep understanding for. A lot of students complete this rebatement construction and don't actually understand what's happening. They just have a procedural knowledge of what's happening rather than actual deep understanding for the line actually being rebatted around a point. And that's something that you need to understand so that you can explain them to students.